Thank you, Dave. 2 degrees right now at the airport at 7:33. Good morning, everyone. Enterovirus D68 is not going away in our province. Alberta Health Services says there have been 18 new confirmed cases of D68 in the past couple of weeks. That brings the total since July 1st to 111, including 60 cases here in the Calgary area. Health officials encouraging everyone to wash your hands thoroughly and often, and if you have symptoms like a fever, a cough, runny nose, or sneezing, then you're asked to stay home until you fully recover. New information this morning about a Calgary connection to the man who gunned down Corporal Nathan Cirillo in Ottawa and then stormed Parliament Hill. The Calgary Herald is reporting that Michael Zahaf-Bibeau stayed at a Northwest Calgary homeless shelter at least twice before traveling to Ottawa. The Herald speaking with 3 men who say they saw Zahaf-Bibeau at different times over the past couple of months at Center 2507. That is a satellite shelter for the Calgary Drop-In Center. Calgary police confirming the 32-year-old did spend time in our city, but police are not saying what he was doing here. One of the men the Herald spoke with says he realized he had met Zahaf-Bibeau on a Calgary street corner after seeing Bibeau's photograph on the news. Canadian warplanes overseas are now active in the U.S.-led bombing campaign against Islamic State militants in Iraq. A statement from Canada's Defence Minister Rob Nicholson says assessments are being done this morning to see if Canada's 2 CF-18 fighter jets hit their intended targets in Iraq. The targets are in the vicinity of Fallujah, west of Baghdad. The Canadian fighters making it back to base safely in Kuwait. In a statement, Nicholson says the strike demonstrates the Canadian government's firm resolve to tackle the threat of terrorism and to stand with allies against Islamic State atrocities against innocent women, children, and men. It's now 7:35. A homeless man north of Calgary in Edmonton is captivating the world with his talent. His name is Ryan Arcan. He has lived on the street for about 30 years. We don't know how his life ended up like it is, but Arcan fondly recalls the first moment he came into contact with a piano. He says he was around 8 years old, living in a foster home. He says he started playing in the basement, and he's been playing ever since. Last week, a woman recorded Arcan, put the video on YouTube, and it now has more than 3 million views. Ryan Arcan says he's humbled by the response.
It's a need, you know, it's like, it's something that you have to do. It's something, you know, it doesn't mean money. It doesn't mean anything. It's like, you go there, I go there, and I'm like, there she is. And I said, my lady, I have returned.
Ryan Arcan says the song he performed that's now on YouTube is one that he wrote himself. 2 Calgary producers asked local directors to capture the essence of our city in a 3-minute short film asking, "What you got, Calgary?" The film features more than 20 shorts compiled by 20 of Calgary's directors, each piece covering a range of themes that capture what Calgary means to them. Producers of the film say the results both inspiring and eye-opening, and overall, they're very proud of the final result.
It really is a really cool showcase of talent, local talent, and, you know, a really wide variety of skills right here in the city.
We kind of wanted to show, like, let's see what Calgary's got, and it's a great, like, artistic representation from so many different people of just what Calgary has, and it's a really great representation of the city and what we offer.
What You Got, Calgary screens this Friday, November 7th at the Globe downtown. All proceeds, by the way, go to the Calgary Women's Emergency Shelter. For more information or to get tickets, just check out 201studios.com. Time to focus on business. Natural gas making news this morning. Business editor Mike Eppel joining us. Mike, the price of nat gas on the rise again.
Yeah, 5th day in a row that it's moving significantly to the upside. Ted up by about 5% at last check. Now it's at $4.03 per million BTU. That's nowhere near the more than $6 that we saw back in earlier this year during the the depths of the winter season. We saw that price spike for natural gas, and then it dropped back as the inventory stabilized. The root cause of this recent rally, though, is colder than typical temperatures for this time of year. National Weather Service just putting out its forecast for the next couple of weeks in the U.S., and they say that in Chicago, the daytime low, or the low for Chicago on November the 11th is something like 23 Fahrenheit. That's -5 Celsius. The U.S. Eastern Seaboard also seeing very cold temperatures. I mean, this thing goes all the way down to parts of the U.S. South, down to Georgia, for example, even northern Florida. So all this is going to lead to more demand for natural gas as a heating fuel, and inventories are already at a multi-year low for this time of the year. So that's something to keep an eye on as we start this new trading week. We've got oil, meantime, doing the exact opposite. It's starting the week basically at a 2.5-year low, holding at just $80 per barrel. Chrysler in with their U.S. auto sales numbers this morning. 55th month in a row that Chrysler saw an improvement year over year in sales. And in fact, October was the best ever month for Chrysler sales in its U.S. market, up 22%. The Jeep brand up 52% year over year. The Ram pickup trucks, those are big sellers for Chrysler, and of course is now merged officially with Fiat, and that stock has been a pretty good rate of return on the U.S. trade since its listing last month of about 25%. We're watching Wall Street open the week with a record for the Dow and the S&P. Last week was the best in almost 2 years for Wall Street stocks, and we're seeing a continuation of that in the early Monday trade, and we'll see if in fact we can keep going onward and upward here. Big week though for economic news. Trade data tomorrow, U.S. and Canadian job statistics due on Friday morning. Ted, back to you.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Mike. Business editor Mike Apple. You can hear Mike, by the way, on 660 News at 26 and 56 after every hour.